when you're running your own company, which is what I was doing at that time, one of the things that I always found to be a struggle is how do you keep leveling yourself up when it's just you there in those early days? And WordCamps were a big part of how I did that. Made connections with other people doing the things that I did. I had time to meet those people, to co-work with them. And that's what was able to keep springboarding me to the next level, to get to where I am today. And so I very much can directly draw the line from WordCamp US back to how I was able to launch my career.
Hey, Cory Miller here, host of the A2 Hosting Show. Today, I talk with Katie Richards and Aaron Campbell, longtime WordCamp contributors, about the upcoming event called WordCamp US in Portland, September 2024. So we discuss the importance of WordCamps. We highlight them as community-focused events, all volunteer-led, by the way, that bring together people who use and build with WordPress. Katie from our team explains that WordCamps offer opportunities for learning, networking, career development, and she's got a great personal story and stories about that. Aaron, our director of product, shares how these events have been instrumental in his career, emphasizing the unique connections and collaborations that occur at these type of events called WordCamps. So WordCamp US is not just a national event. It's a global leadership gathering for WordPress enthusiasts from agency owners, product companies, individuals passionate about the open source project WordPress that powers over 40% of the internet today. We feel the same passion as you do, as we specialize in WordPress at A2 Hosting. So we're sponsoring the event, and we'll have a fabulous booth with an all-star team there to meet you. So come by and say hi. And if you were an agency owner or work in an agency, we're hosting some small private dinners, no sales, just cool conversation, good people together, good food on us, just for you. If you're interested in going to WordCamp US, just ping our community team here that I lead at community@a2hosting.com. Okay, here's the conversation. Well, hey, my name is Cory Miller, host of the A2 Show, and I've got Katie Richards and Aaron Campbell, teammates and longtime friends of mine, but also WordCamp organizers, and specifically WordCamp US organizers, longtime contributors to the project. And today we just thought we'd talk about WordCamp US. It's coming up very soon. Our team has been busy at A2 hosting. Katie is on my community growth team, and Aaron is our director of product. And so I wanted to start the conversation basically with what are WordCamps and why are they important?
I could take the first part of that question. WordCamps are community-focused events that bring together people who use and build and experience the world and the internet through WordPress. So whatever your role and however you interact with WordPress, there are people to talk to, there are talks to attend, there's networking opportunities, there's companies to meet. And this has been, man, when was the first WordCamp, Aaron?
I want to say 2010 was the first. Mm-hmm.
I think it had to be earlier than that.
Might have been earlier than that. That might have been the first one I went to.
My first was WordCamp DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, and I think it was 2008 or 2009.
Oh my! Oh yeah. When was your first WordCamp, Aaron?
It was definitely a WordCamp San Francisco because that was the only one at the time. So if DFW existed in 2008, 2009, my timeline's off, and I should go search those dates. But yeah, I mean, WordCamp started in San Francisco with the first WordCamp ever. We had one. It was just a yearly chance for the much smaller at that time group of folks that were part of the WordPress project to get together and talk about it and work together and that kind of stuff as well. Yeah, it's grown a lot since then.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, considering my first WordCamp was a local WordCamp, and that was and that has been the goal of the WordPress community for these events for many years, was local community members gather together to plan an event for folks in their community. So my first WordCamp, I think, was WordCamp Grand Rapids in 2012, because that was my local camp.
Yeah, we were talking prior to this. We've seen each other at these events over the years. I think I've probably been to, I'm going to conservatively say 50 over the years. Just, I got on a circuit where I was going all the time. But what I think is which is awesome about WordCamps, is because WordPress itself doesn't do what you would think is traditional marketing for the software. But these WordCamps, I've compared them to big fan rallies and things like that. I always, for years, talked about Sturgis. This is our geek Sturgis, where Harley Davidson runners go up to North or South Dakota. And this is our time to kind of geek out with WordPress. And it's such a good thing, in my opinion. Love to hear yours, Aaron, for the project overall. We're all online, mostly remote, contributing to the project, building with WordPress, doing different things. And this is our time to actually see each other in person. And it's just a great energy boost, I would say, for WordPress.
I think that these events in general, although the flagship ones, the biggest ones like WordCamp US, maybe even more so, really do bring together that group of folks with a shared interest, right? Well, WordPress is a shared interest for a lot of us. For some of us, that's coming from a passion for open source. For some of us, it's just a tool that we use to help us accomplish some other task that's more important to us. But whatever that is, sort of this WordPress project is a shared interest. It brings us together to, learn all kinds of new things. But to your point, Cory, also to really build those bonds that are difficult to build and especially difficult to maintain online. And so I think that that's both for the users and the contributors that are helping build the project. Like we are able to make those connections at these in-person events that we otherwise don't get to make.
I'm sure you've seen a lot too, Katie. I think about the networking side, to be able to see each other in person. That's just hard to do sometimes over the internet. But I'm sure your times, organizing, both of you are organizers, past and current. But I'm sure you've seen a lot of the benefits for WordCamps.
Yes. I mean, from the networking side, definitely. Well, for one, Cory, we started working together about 3 months ago, but we've known each other for a dozen years. And that was because of our involvement in WordCamps and meeting up in person at some point in our past, and getting to know each other that way. And I've seen careers start, 10 plus year careers start with companies because of connections made at WordCamps. I've seen new interest and re-excitement about the WordPress project grow and be created at WordCamps. So you never really know. We gotta kind of go into the WordCamp with an open mind and also kind of a goal for yourself.
And while I do value the networking part a lot, like that is probably my favorite part of it, there's also just so much to actually learn and glean out of these camps outside of just meeting new people. One of the things that I love, personally love most about WordCamps is that they're so focused on the attendees more than any other tech event that I have ever been a part of. It's extremely affordable for attendees, so that everyone can attend, and the programming is so worth the cost. This year we have some amazing speakers speaking about everything from AI and using WordPress in extremely large scale enterprise environments, down to, building cooperative games on top of WordPress. Like there's all kinds of things that can be learned. And so like if your sole purpose is just to like level up your knowledge of kind of the internet and the space, it's a fantastic way of doing that.
Yeah,
really
I can
go ahead.
Say I can speak to my experience as a community organizer and I guess working in community work for a number of years. I do tend to focus on the networking side, but the programming, especially for this year at WordCamp US, is going to be incredible. And we also have the opportunity to gather together as a project, and I would be remiss in not mentioning Contributor Day. The first day of the event, and sometimes it's before, sometimes it's after, is an opportunity for folks to get together and either work on existing tasks or projects inside the WordPress space, or if you're a new contributor and you've never contributed before, getting connected with teams, getting onboarded, figuring out, your next step in that contribution journey. I am not a developer, but I joined the team reps for the photo directory project a number of years ago. So being at a WordCamp and getting to teach folks how to contribute back to the software that's really changed many of our lives is a super exciting part of the event.
I think that Contributor Day hits pretty heavily on one of the big benefits of these events. You were asking what do these events bring us, Cory? And I think that one of the big things is WordPress is an open source software. It powers a huge percentage of the internet. But it's driven, like the whole project is driven by volunteers, by people who are maybe passionate about open source or maybe just want to make one small thing about the software that they use better. And originally that was very focused on developers. My first Contributor Day, we didn't call them Contributor Days back then. It was Developer Day because that was kind of the only way that there was to contribute to the WordPress project. But it brought us together to sort of co-work on this thing. And now the project is so much bigger. It's not just code anymore. It's, there is a photo directory. When I go to the Contributor Days now, I sit in the community team and talk about how to improve our events and, put on more events or new unique types of events. And all of those things benefit our project and our community around it. But it's all volunteer driven. And so one of the things that these camps do is they let us bring together those volunteers to really accomplish a lot. Again, to build those bonds just between the people that are working, but also to get new volunteers a simpler, easier path into volunteering, because the health of our project depends on people being excited about it and wanting to work on it. And Contributor Days very much bring that.
Yeah, you've shared a couple of things I wasn't thinking about instantly, but if you dig in, there's something for everybody at this. And I think it's a byproduct of the magic of open source that when people come to this, one, the cost is very low compared to any other, as you mentioned, tech conference. But the magic of open source happens for a couple of days at these type of WordCamps. And it's pretty special because it blends a lot of things. And one thing I've always been very proud of WordPress overall is we are always trying to be inclusive and make sure everyone is included. Everyone has from accessibility to food options, different things. And I just know this because I know you two and other organizers over the year, the amount of effort that goes to make sure everybody's included. And there's not a lot of industries, if we say it like that have this type of thing where, as you just mentioned, Aaron, volunteers. Like I have to pinch myself sometimes where if I hear a complaint or something, I'm like, remember, people are donating their time for this event. And I know how much it consumes of people's time particularly organizers like you all leading up to an event like that?
Yeah, I think that our organizing team this year is around 40 people, Katie. Is that about accurate?
I think the exact number is 47.
Well, there you go. Someone has an exact number. 47 people donating not like an hour of their time, not even like a day of their time to be at the event and helping, although we will have a much larger number of volunteers that are at the event helping out on site. But these 47 people have been donating their time to help make this event happen for months and months and months up till now, having weekly meetings, getting through projects, looking at speaker applications, creating sponsor contracts, right? Ordering food, all these things. And yeah, it's been volunteers. And in this case, 47 volunteers for months have been working to make this event possible.
And then A2 Hosting, our company, is sponsoring again WordCamp US. And so we'll have a booth there. We also have 2 team members that are on the lead organizing team. And I just wanted to mention just a second, or ask just a second, is what WordCamp US. We have WordCamp Europe. We have WordCamp Asia. There's other WordCamps happening around the world. This one's very important to me because it's in our backyard. It's our, home WordCamp, national WordCamp. But this is not just a national one. This is a global one in my mind. As like you mentioned, Aaron, this was one of the first ones you went to because it is important. There's a lot of key contributors and leaders in the project there. But what does WordCamp US mean to you two?
That's such a big question.
Such a loaded question.
I guess for me, I may wax nostalgic a little bit on this one, but like you said, my first WordCamp that I attended was WordCamp San Francisco. I went and looked. It looks like 2008 WordCamp San Francisco. I may have actually spoke at, so I may have been at the one before that as well, 2007. I think the first one was 2006. But WordCamp San Francisco was the WordCamp. We didn't even really call it WordCamp San Francisco at first. It was just WordCamp, like it was the one. And now this is the successor that has grown into. We sort of outgrew the space that we had been able to get in San Francisco for this and started moving it around to other places in the US, and including the whole country. And then, it's still kind of the most, I guess, globally attended. Maybe that's probably not accurate. It's still one of the most, us in Europe, especially at the moment. But it is like, this is essentially the thing that the first ever WordCamp has become. And so it's special to me because those early WordCamps are a big part of what launched my career and got me to where I am here today. Director of product at A2 Hosting, like I'm still very much in that space. And that's because of the connections that I made there of, when you're running your own company, which is what I was doing at that time, one of the things that I always found to be a struggle is, how do you keep leveling yourself up when it's just you there in those early days? And WordCamps were a big part of how I did that. Made connections with other people doing the things that I did. I had time to meet those people, to co-work with them. And that's what was able to keep springboarding me to the next level, to get to where I am today. And so I very much can directly draw the line from WordCamp US back to how I was able to launch my career. And so like personally for me, if you're asking personally what it means, that's what it means.
That's a little hard to follow up. I think if I'm going to sum it up with one word, it would be opportunity. It's opportunity to learn. There, like Aaron mentioned earlier, there are so many different incredible talks that we're going to be starting to announce about 3 hours after we're recording this, which is a long-awaited moment. the talks are incredibly high quality and a really wide range of subjects. So no matter how you approach WordPress, there's going to be something for you. For me, there's an opportunity to learn, but also an opportunity to connect. And similar to Aaron, and I know this is not a story that's just unique to the two of us, I can directly draw lines between connections made at WordCamp or WordCamps past to jobs that I've gotten, to career shifts that I've made. And I wouldn't be where I am today as the project manager for the community growth team at A2 without some relationships and time spent working with folks in the WordPress project over the years. So as I have told people before, keep an open mind. You never know what's going to be thrown at you at a WordCamp that may be really instrumental in your life later on. So really excited to kind of watch some of those things happen. One of our team's special focuses, and A2 as a whole company, is really investing in the relationship that we have with WordPress agency owners. Being an agency owner, a business owner, can be a very isolating experience. And often they're, wearing many, many hats and trying to cover as much ground as possible. And so being able to connect with folks who are working in the agency space and really helping support that 40+% of the internet that WordPress covers is something that is near and dear to our hearts. We have spent a lot of time talking with agency owners, but like we've talked about before, having a critical mass of folks to get together in one space at a WordCamp is a special experience for us as a team and as a company to be able to talk to the folks all at the same time.
I think it's going to be really exciting to get the chance again, like we did last year, to really be hands-on, talking to some of those agencies, hearing their struggles, showing how we can come alongside and help address some of those struggles. I think one of the points that you were making was kind of tying these agencies with the 40+% of the web that we always hear. WordPress powers, some extremely large number, over 40% of the web. And that's only possible because there are these agencies at every level that are helping people get online using WordPress. And some of those agencies are at the very top, and they're helping massive companies like, or even organizations like NASA get online. And then there are all these agencies that are helping the small businesses down the street from me get online. And every one of those agencies is key to helping everyone have their spot online to do the things that they're wanting to do, to succeed in their own endeavors, using the web as a tool. And the agencies are key to that because not everyone can do that for themselves. And I think that, to me, that's one of the reasons that it's so exciting for me to have A2 focused on those agencies and really working to come alongside as partners to help them succeed. Because in helping those agencies succeed, we are helping empower all of their customers to accomplish their goals online as well, whatever those may be. So I'm super excited to sit down. I feel like we've put in a lot of work over the last year, building out some of our tools in Turbo Hub and some of our product offerings to really help those agencies succeed. I can't wait to show some of that to them, but also beyond just showcasing what we've done, to have that time to sit down and hear about what are the struggles that we're still not addressing, and how can we help those agencies be more successful and help their customers be more successful in return. And so, yes, that's one of the things I'm most excited about as I step into this event with my A2 hat on.
Yeah, I think there's a lot for an agency owner, agency team to be at a WordCamp, particularly WordCamp US. If you're in US, Canada, Mexico, close to the US and can get in. We've hit on some of these today. There's the networking side. Now, from an agency perspective, I've heard stories, and I know you all have too, that they showed up at a WordCamp, started meeting fellow agency owners, and then this agency over here that they met had maybe an overflow and shared some of the work back with this other one. I mean, there's a prominent agency and company that I know that story one-to-one that really built and grew their business through it. There's the collaboration. WordPress is a meritocracy. So the opportunity, you want something in WordPress that's contributor day and being amongst the leaders and people at one of these WordCamps for sure. We've talked about hiring. We all three have a common thread through that. But from an agency owner perspective, you want a passionate person that knows WordPress. This is a great place to find your next team member. But any stories or anything else for an agency owner contemplating, spending the money and the time to come to WordCamp US that you all can think of?
I think that a few things that I'll call out is number one, leveling up your skills. There's always somebody at these WordCamps that's doing something exciting and new and different that you haven't seen before and you can now consider doing. And that's amazing. And yes, the WordPress space, Cory, you put it so well on the sharing of work. I think that the WordPress space, more than any one that I've ever been a part of, has an awful lot of coopetition, right? Competitors that are still cooperating together, and agencies that maybe don't do certain kinds of work, but get leads for that kind of work and pass it off to other people, or when they're overloaded, to your point, pass it on to other people. It's a great way to figure out how you can best balance those spikes and dips that are inherent to being out on your own or running your own agency. And then I think the other big thing, to give another quick shout out to the sponsors. Yes, A2 is one of those, but in general, the sponsors that attend WordCamp US and make it possible for everyone, for agencies to be able to make connections in all those spaces is fantastic as well. There's hosts there are plugin companies, there are all kinds of folks that come in as sponsors, and being able to essentially develop those relationships and have that point of contact at those places can very much benefit your agency. And so I think that there's a plethora of things that make it, forget the cost of the ticket, make it invaluable to come to WordCamp US. And a thing that I think that an agency would be remiss to not be sending their people to.
And I can tell this story. It's not my own, but it is close to my heart because it belongs to my significant other, who also works within the WordPress space and runs his own business. But there have been so many events that he's attended where he's come away with new ideas for his business that he didn't have before. New product offerings, new solutions that he could offer folks, connections and opportunities to collaborate that he never thought about before. So while you may think you're going to WordPress for WordCamp for one thing, to learn to collaborate with other folks, don't be surprised if you come away from WordCamp US with a very new idea that needs to be worked on immediately after. You got that fire lit under you to explore a new area.
Calendar in a little extra time after the event, because you're going to have ideas you want to take action on.
Yes, people to follow up with, ideas to talk about. Definitely.
Yeah, I was going to say, before, get a lot of sleep, because it's pretty busy. There's so much here that we just shared. And then afterwards, take a couple of vacation days or plan some rest when you get home. Well, for our part of day 2 hosting, we'll be hosting some private dinners for agencies. We call them the Green Table. And we're really excited to connect. We'll have a booth there, of course. And we're super excited. Katie Richards on our team and also Kate from our team have been chasing all the kinds of details to make it a great experience. But we'd love to connect with you. The 3 of us are going to be there. We're going to have a team of about 16. And this is our time to connect with you. If you're an agency owner, you're going to WordCamp US or any other WordCamps, you can always email us, the community growth team, at community@a2hosting.com. But Katie and Aaron, I know you all are busy. You're organizing and doing your day job here. Looking forward to seeing you very, very soon in person. Any last thoughts before we say thanks for everybody for listening?
No, come and say hi to us in our booth. Stop us and chat with us. Can't wait to see everybody.
Yeah, likewise. It's going to be a really fun week for us. And while Aaron and I may be running around an awful lot, we appreciate and welcome the opportunity to be stopped and talk and connect.
Absolutely. If you see me rushing by, it may be great to have me pause for a few minutes and chat with you. Yeah.
Well, okay, WordCamp US, go get your tickets, are still available for it. You don't want to miss this event. And please come by and say hi. But Katie and Aaron, thank you for your time today. And we'll see you all very, very soon.